The alarm goes off, and your hand is already on your phone before you're fully awake. You scan your email, your calendar, your messages. Nothing has gone wrong yet, but your chest is tight like you're already behind. By the time you're brushing your teeth, you're running through every plate you have spinning today, silently promising you won't drop any of them. There is a way to step out of that hidden pressure without losing your edge or your reliability. But before the shift makes sense, it helps to see what's actually powering this high-functioning mode underneath. On the surface, it looks simple. Your mind constantly scans for what could go wrong, so you stay ahead of it. You answer fast, you prepare hard, you over-deliver. Other people see someone dependable, organized, maybe even calm. Inside, it's a different picture. Your body is wired, your thoughts are crowded, and there's a constant sense you'll drop something. There's a constant sense that if you relax even a little, something important will slip and create consequences. Because this pattern has worked for a long time, it's easy to treat it as just your personality. So you ignore the smaller warning signs, the way your sleep gets lighter, your focus gets jumpier, your mood gets flat or snappy. It only feels serious when your body starts sending louder signals that are harder to push past and override. Imagine someone like Jamie. At work, Jamie is the person everyone trusts to get things done quickly and correctly. The inbox is clear, the slides are polished, the responses are fast, and deadlines are hit without visible struggle. But on the commute home, Jamie's jaw is clenched, there's a dull headache, and the thought is quietly running. The thought is, if I stop being this on top of everything, it will all fall apart. Here's the part most people miss. This isn't just stress. It's a loop that's teaching your system something. A loop where anxiety secretly becomes the fuel that keeps you moving, performing, and maintaining your image. One mechanism is using worry as fuel. The moment you feel a hint of anxiety, something familiar happens inside. Instead of seeing it as a signal to pause, you turn it into a reason to push harder and faster. Calm starts to feel unsafe, like you're slacking off or inviting failure, judgment, or some future disaster. Another mechanism is hiding behind perfectionism and over-preparing for outcomes that haven't even happened yet. You don't just finish the task, you triple-check it, imagine every possible criticism, and brace defensively. You try to pre-defend yourself against being judged or caught off guard, blindsided, or seen as unprepared. The task ends, but the nervous system never gets to stand down, because your brain stays on alert. A third mechanism is swinging between procrastination and frantic last-minute bursts of highly focused effort. You delay starting because it feels overwhelming, then flip into a high adrenaline sprint to prove you can still manage. The result looks like success, but internally it keeps teaching your brain that panic equals performance and safety. And a fourth mechanism is keeping a flawless facade. You hold yourself together in meetings, sound reasonable in messages, laugh at small talk. Meanwhile, your shoulders are tight, your breathing is shallow, and no one sees how close you feel to snapping inside. Jamie does this too. On paper, everything looks great, especially to managers, colleagues, and even friends watching from outside. But at 1 a.m., staring at the ceiling, Jamie is replaying one sentence from a meeting, over and over again. Jamie is wondering if it sounded stupid and planning 3 ways to fix it tomorrow, just in case there's fallout. Of course, you fall into a few common traps around this. They're very human and very understandable. One is saying yes to almost every request because the idea of letting someone down feels terrifyingly dangerous. It feels more dangerous than running yourself into the ground. The burnout cost is far away. The worry cost is immediate. Another is waiting for a full crash before taking limits seriously, or adjusting how much you carry each day. You tell yourself, it's just a busy season, or once this project is done, I'll slow down and rest. But new demands fill the space, and rest only happens when your body forces it through exhaustion or illness. A third mistake is only escaping through distraction. You scroll, binge, or keep working to avoid feeling how wired you are. Then the anxious tension returns even stronger, and it seems like proof you didn't do enough or handle things properly. So, how do you shift this without flipping into the opposite extreme of doing nothing and feeling lost or irresponsible? Instead of trying to destroy the anxiety or overhaul your whole life, it can help to build something small. It can help to build a small, repeatable ritual you can use in ordinary moments throughout your day. Step 1. Name the loop. You're at your desk, staring at a long list of tasks, and your chest starts to tighten uncomfortably. Your thoughts speed up. If I don't answer this now, they'll think I'm slacking. I can't miss that deadline. I'm already behind. In that moment, rather than calling this normal or just how I am, you do something different. You quietly label it anxious drive. You name the particular mode your system has just shifted into again. You're not judging it, you're just naming the mode your system is in right now, in this situation. The expected effect is a tiny bit of distance, enough to see this as a state, not your whole identity. Step 2. Cut the thread. Once you've named it, you pause for a few seconds. This doesn't mean stopping your day or abandoning responsibility. It means interrupting the mental spiral that keeps tightening the pressure, urgency, and sense of invisible emergency. Maybe you stand up, feel your feet on the floor, look around the room, and take one slower exhale on purpose. Then you choose one small, clear action. Reply to one email, outline one slide, wash one dish without multitasking. Instead of feeding the what-if chain, you cut the thread it's hanging from and move through a single, grounded step. The expected effect is that your body starts to come out of emergency mode while you still move forward responsibly. Step 3. Reset on repeat. Later, you notice the same pattern rising again before a meeting or while looking at your calendar full of commitments. This time, you don't wait for a crisis. You briefly name the loop, take that short physical pause, and adjust one limit. You adjust one limit, shorten a task, move a non-urgent item, or block a 5-minute break somewhere realistic. Each time you repeat this, you're teaching your system that you can be responsible without being in constant overdrive. The expected effect is a gradual shift from barely coping and bracing to quietly managing and choosing your pace. Picture Jamie when a new request arrives at 4:45 p.m., labeled urgent, landing in an already full afternoon. The old pattern would be yes, immediately, no questions, even if it means staying late and sacrificing rest again. With this ritual, Jamie notices the stomach clench, mentally says, anxious drive, then steps away from the screen briefly. Jamie steps away from the screen for 30 seconds and then replies with a specific, realistic boundary about the request. The reply includes, what can realistically be done now, and what needs to wait until later without apology or panic. Here's the twist. You don't have to feel calm before you do any of this, or before it starts to work. You're not waiting for the anxiety to vanish. You're learning how to relate to it differently while it's still there. To support this, a few small cognitive tools can help you catch the loop in real time as it's unfolding. Tool 1. Tight chest or stomach, anxious drive, physical reset. The signal is a physical cue, a knot in your stomach, a squeezed feeling in your chest, shoulders creeping up unconsciously. The gesture is to quietly name it anxious drive, Exhale a little longer than usual. Let your shoulders drop slightly, and anchor. You let your shoulders drop and feel your feet on the floor or your back against the chair as a grounding anchor. The visible consequence is that your breathing deepens and the rush of urgency drops a notch rather than escalating. That makes it easier to choose your next step instead of being whipped forward by fear, habit, or old patterns. Tool 2. Repeated checking. Checking loop. One final check, and close. The signal is catching yourself opening the same email, document, or message again and again for reassurance rather than need. You're not opening it because it needs work, but because you're trying to feel certain and calm about it. The gesture is to label it checking loop. Allow yourself one deliberate final check, and then close the window purposefully. You close the window or put the phone down, even if a part of you still wants one more look, just in case. The visible consequence is that you reclaim a small pocket of time and attention that would have been drained away. You prove to yourself that you can tolerate a bit of uncertainty without chasing it all night or all weekend. Tool 3. Packed schedule. Circle a gap, protect a micro break. The signal is looking at your calendar or to-do list and realizing there's no breathing room anywhere in your day. The gesture is to literally find one small gap, even 5 minutes, and block it off as a screen-free pause for yourself. You block it off as a screen-free pause. Step outside, drink water, stretch, or just sit quietly without input. The visible consequence is that your day gains a small pressure release valve, and your body learns something new. Your body learns that activity doesn't have to mean non-stop strain or constant self-pressure to be worthy and safe. You might notice some resistance here. Thoughts like, if I slow down, I'll fall behind, show up automatically. Or thoughts like, other people handle more than this, I should just cope, may appear and sound very convincing. That resistance is part of the loop too. It treats this anxious drive as the only thing keeping you safe and acceptable. In reality, it's quietly eroding your capacity, narrowing your margins, and making crashes more likely over time. In many ways, you've been like a duck on a lake. From a distance, you look steady and smooth to others. But under the surface, your feet are paddling hard just to stay in place, never really slowing or truly resting. Or like a smoke alarm that goes off at burnt toast and real fires alike, loud and insistent every single time. You've been responding as if every beep means the whole house is in danger, even when it's just oversensitivity. The aim of these steps is not to turn the alarm off forever or become a person who never feels anxious. It's to help it ring at a more accurate volume and to stop building your whole identity around responding to it. Instead of, I am only valuable when I'm in overdrive, it shifts toward something more grounded and flexible. It shifts toward, I am capable, and I can choose how much of myself I spend in any given situation. Today, that might mean one simple act, naming anxious drive once, or closing one checking loop when you notice it, or protecting one 5-minute break. Those tiny moves are not weakness. They are small corrections in your energy use. These thoughts and pressures may still show up, especially in busy weeks or when something really matters to you. But now the question isn't how to erase them, it's how to notice the loop, soften it, and protect your limits. It's how to protect your limits while you keep living your life, showing up for what actually matters to you. You don't have to do that alone, and you don't have to do it perfectly for it to start counting in your favor.